Hello and welcome to this session of reviewing accounts payable in Axxerion. I'm logged in now in our demo site as Barbara. You see the name on the upper right hand side, and the role she has is AP Manager. So the home page is geared towards AP management. You see a series of tiles for creating a new invoice, receiving a new invoice, looking at the existing invoices, purchase orders, contacts and vendors, payment batches, and checkbooks. And you can also review reports, and we're going to go through all of these in our demo. You also have a tab that is invoice aging, so you can go into the tab at any point. It says incoming invoice. You can search for a specific vendor or just say show me everything available. So you see a summary of the aging, and you can expand this by clicking the expand button. You can see the details for the 30 days and 60 days, 90 days, and so on. For each one of these sections, you can see the invoice number from and the to. This is the vendor to the company, subject, dates, and the amounts. To review this in more detail, you just simply click the hyperlink on the invoice and you go to the invoice itself, and we can review that. At any time, you can click the home icon to come back to the home page. Let's create a new invoice. Let's just click the invoice plus. It generates an invoice with some of the default fields filled out, the dates, to us, the type of invoice, and so on. So let's make this utilities for March. Okay, and then let's make that from our local gas and electric company. So as you notice, we had the 30 days, the default for the payment terms. That automatically changed to the 10 days because this vendor has got the 10 days payment terms associated with that. It also picked up the general ledger automatically over here. Okay, let's scroll down, and here you can see the line items. The line items are empty right now. Just say new line item, and that would open up a new line and say utilities. We start coding this and say 1300, and we can continue on and pick an account code. It automatically picked up the account code for this vendor. The taxes, let's blank out the taxes because taxes are included in there, and we're ready to submit this. So we just say submit, and that has been now changed the status to submitted. And if you have the authority, you can approve and post this. Say approve and post. So the invoice is already approved. If you have a paper invoice that you wanted to bring in from the vendor, you can also bring it into here. You can drag and drop it or select it from a file. So I'm going to go to my example documents and just pick a document just to show you an example. So that's now included in our invoice. If you have an invoice number for the vendor, you can also put that in here, and it's searchable. Also, the system checks to make sure that's unique within the invoices that this vendor has sent in. Okay. If you want to pay this from a specific bank, you can pick the bank account and say OK. So this is now an approved invoice. Is set up to be paid over here, and we're going to come back to that in just a second. To look at the incoming invoices as a whole, you can just click the incoming invoice. You can see the one that you have visited, or if you say I want to look at my open AP, you can see a list of those. The system totals up the amount of open, the status of each one of those, approved, and so on. Let's go back to the home page again. Within this also you can have the purchase orders. So let's take a look at the purchase orders. So we go in here and say open POs. You can see the POs that are from us to the vendors, subjects, the amounts, as well as the currency and the status of each one of those. If you wanted to do a new PO, just click the new, you say outgoing PO, opens up a blank PO, you say supplies, or let's do some furniture, so tables and chairs. So it's from us to the, let's make it to Staples. So this automatically picks up from the contacts and the vendors in the system. If you have a contact person, you can put that in. And then, on the right hand side is the type. And then at the bottom, you have the option to itemize this, inventory item, catalog item, or generic item in this case. Just put in tables. If you have any additional information about the catalog, other things you can add it in here. You can say you want to get 2 tables at $200 each. You have also the taxes. Let's say taxes are included. Account code. Let's pick the office related account. So here we have the services, property management, tenant improvement. Let's say property management. Okay. And then we do another one of these, say another generic item. Here you have the tables, and we have added chairs. Say we have 8 of those at $75 each. Taxes are blank. And we will put also into the same account. In this case, you can pick any account that you want. Now we have these, and then the total amount is rolled up in here. The general ledger is automatically picked up. The payment method, we say we put in the check, and then say submit. So when we submit this, it goes to the next level for approval. If you have the authority to approve, it would show up in here. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for the approval authority to approve this. Let's click the approve and book. So that's now approved, and it will go to the person who is in charge of issuing the purchase order. If you would like to generate the paper form, you have the option to go to generate the PDF on this purchase order, the tables and chairs. You can save this, or you can easily print this or email this out from the system. Okay. Now we go back to our form. We have the item ordered. It says purchased. So this is now PO issued, and it's waiting for the delivery on this. Okay. So let's say we got delivery, and we go to the deliveries tab, and we have the quantity. We can say how much of this has been received, or just say new delivery. And the item, is already booked. So say, well, we have the 2 and 8 that has come in. All right, so this is the delivered. We go back and we click the deliver tab, and then we authorize this to be paid and say, okay, let's pay this one. Authorize to pay, and click OK. We go back to our list. So tables and chairs in here is authorized to be paid. Okay, so let's go back to our home page. We now create an invoice on behalf of the vendor in here, or if we have received the invoice, we can come in here and say we want to go to the deliveries tab. We want to search for the purchase orders. We know the title on this table, say tables and chairs. We have the two items in here on this PRIO 19008. Say we want to pay for both of those. So the item comes in, so okay, you can adjust the quantity if you needed to, and we go back to the main page. And you can see that the item has been brought in, and the amount is set up. The information from the purchase order has been picked up. And say tables and chairs payment. Chairs. Okay. And now we do submit. And we have the approval and posting. And then would be ready to be paid. All right. So we have few invoices to be paid. So let's do a payment batch. We go into a payment batch. We look at the existing ones as we have. We create a new payment batch. So this is grouping the invoices together. We can pick the general ledger. This is the 2019 ABC Products General Ledger. Say payments April 8. Bank account that we want to pay it from. Say we want to pay it from Bank of America. And we want to assign invoices. So we're going to bring in and make a listing of all the invoices that we have. Say utilities, we need to make the payment for utilities, and also the payment for tables and chairs. So let's pick these two. You can pick as many of them as we want. Say pick two of them. And those are brought in. This is from this Bank of America account. This has already been specified from here, which is the same as what we have. And this one would be the default, which is going to this one over there. All right. So the item is ready to be paid. It goes through approval as if need be, but let's say we approve it. In this case, we would pick up a date on this if we wanted to. Approve by, approve date. So say this is the approval site. We put all of those in place. And so now we are ready to create checks. So it has two checks. It's created two checks because it recognized that there are two vendors in here. And here we would issue these checks, print and send. So this is our blank checkbook. You can put as many checkbooks as you like in there. System will generate the checks with the amount, Pacific Gas and Electric, and then here you have the Staples office supply. You can put any notes that you would like in there. You can email them, you can save them, you can pen them. So now these are set up to be as sent. And that's it. We are done with our payment issuing, and the payment batch is already taken care of.